Good evening. The current time is now 6:33 p.m. and I'd like to call the committee or the social media and website committee of the Holly Township Parks to order. Commissioner Earl, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Wright,
Here.
Manager Blanchard, here. Myself, here.
Right. Thank you. Now we're going to do the approval of the minutes of the last committee meeting. If you look in your packet, you should see that in the next one.
Yep. Do you need a motion?
Yes, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes as written. I will second that.
Right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Now to tonight's agenda. Um, if you would take a look at it and if there's any questions or comments or changes, if not, I will accept the motion.
I motion to accept the agenda. I will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All any opposed? No, motion passes. All right. Now come to the first public comment. Members of the public can address the committee once recognized by the chairperson for items listed on this agenda only. Comments are limited to 4 minutes. The committee may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by majority vote. Prior to addressing the committee, members of the public are asked to state their name for the record. Are there any for public comment? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll go on to item number 7, old business. Since last committee meeting was just primarily a discussion, I didn't believe we have any old business, so I didn't put anything down. So, um, if there are no objections, we'll go on to number 8, new business. Um, item A is the discussion and or recommendation of the Civic Plus proposal for the Holly Township Parks website to the full Holly Township Parks Commission. Now, I realize we only have one proposal. I did reach out again to the other vendors that I had saw and had contacted us, but I haven't gotten anything back. Have you?
You know, that's surprising because the representative from Revise certainly was anxious to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
And I kind of was wondering if we needed to open it up to non-governmental vendors for websites. I don't know what you guys think. I kind of think that we need to stick with the companies that are specialized in governmental websites. But I mean, it's really up to, us what we want to recommend.
sure.
Um,
I feel like the specializing in the civic background is important. There's just subtle differences, but I would rather we were covered for those things.
yeah. And I know the three of us did go through and we had a presentation by Civic Plus. I was blown away with how easy um, it would be to edit and add. I do realize that we wouldn't have the facility rental and the payments online. However, because we would have the ability to um, use, I don't want to get too technical, but HTML code and CSS code to bring outside sources into the website. I did find a way to bring our Microsoft 365 calendar right into the website. So we would be able to do that with no additional cost. Um,
So things like The Little League schedule. Okay.
Yep, we'd be able to put
Mhm.
when the fields were open or what was going on, the disc golf,
Right.
stuff like that, um, as well as events going on with the parks.
Mhm.
So, the only thing I'm not too sure about would be the payment system. Um, I'm still working on that, but I'm sure that if we wanted to go that route, I'm sure I'd be able to find a way to utilize what we already have, the Square app,
Well, I was going
into
to
that.
say, even as we're just starting out with this,
Mhm.
I don't really feel it's necessary to go full
Right.
into it for that. I mean, it would be a great goal to set, to do that.
Mhm.
But just starting out and getting established, if we have a few months lag time, then I think that's.
Absolutely.
Hi, Quinn. Here's some paperwork for you here. Do you all know Quinn? This is Quinn Davis, right? Quinn worked with us at the beach and she has experience with websites. And so we had invited her to come and participate. Yeah. This
Uh,
is James Wright. I think you know James. And this is Cindy Earle.
Could you hit your microphone button if you would, please? Thank you, ma'am.
Do you need a pen?
I do not have any.
Here we go. You're welcome. Just to catch Quinn up, um, we are talking about the proposal we received from Civic Plus for the website design.
I think it's the third one down.
Yeah. And if you're interested in the presentation that we did go through, I do have a copy of the video. So if you would like to take a look and see what we're talking about here, we were just talking about the idea that I believe that we need to stick with the companies that are specialized in governmental websites due to all the regulations that are upcoming. Um, so that's pretty much where we are right now. Um, anything else?
I think they had a great presentation in that. Um, I would be concerned getting into it too quickly. Like, they have the option of the 25 pages versus the 50 pages. I think we could easily start at 25 and add because, at this point, because of the infrastructure things we've been doing and that, we don't even have a lot at this point to fill 25 pages. Although, we've talked about doing videos and a survey and, different things like that. So I know that we can eventually fill quite a few pages, but just getting started, I think 25 would be a good option for us.
That's actually the quote that I provided in the packets, the 25-page quote.
Okay.
I totally agree with you that um, we need to start small because, well, we are small at this point. However, it would give us the ability to grow as we go forward. Um, and I don't think I'm alone when I say that um, the parks are underutilized and we want to grow what we're offering our citizens there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I
So,
think, because of the fact that people are so aware digitally now,
Mhm.
that it's a great option. And we can also add in our prior meeting minutes and all those type things so that even if the public is not that aware of what we're currently doing, they can go back and look at what past things have come up. So I just think it's a great option.
Mhm. Customizable photographs. You could load those up and have a calendar of when we wanted those certain pictures to, be running.
Hmm.
I mean, that really brings people in on a moment by moment kind of experience on that website. And getting to see what the bees look like before, just all of that.
absolutely.
I feel like it's going to be a nice, not super difficult, to be able to hold it and then schedule it. It sounded like.
Yeah, we could, schedule, create the posts and then schedule them out so that, you know, um, there's continuity in when we post. I don't know about any of you, but when I go to a website and I see the same thing over and over again, I usually don't go back to that same website. Want to keep it fresh and
Yeah.
scheduling the posts like Civic Plus and also Facebook allows us to do. Um, it would allow us to create content and then schedule it when we want to go out. Um, that way we don't, put out an event 3 months from now and people forget about it because there's other posts going on. But if we're able to schedule that, we can schedule it later, closer to the event time, um, and that'll allow us to bump the the article or the post up so
Sure.
people would be able to see it. So I think that'd be a great idea.
And it seemed like when they did the presentation, they're willing to even provide a lot of assistance and knowledge and stuff like that when they're doing it. So that's a good option. And then just for the public who did not participate previously, I know Cindy, you had said that you had had experience with them on a different community's website
Right.
and that. So at least there's different people who've had
Mhm.
the chance to use them already.
For several years, used them at Southern Lakes.
Good.
All right. I know you kind of getting thrown into the fire, Quinn, but did you have any questions?
Um,
It's kind of hard because I know you didn't see the presentation.
I did not. So are they having you pay this amount per year? Or is it one time and then a subscription?
There's some that are one time, and then there's other fees that are continuing.
The year one cost is the 7123, and the annual recurring services are the 6078. Um, they provide the hosting, they provide all the security, um, the audio eye, which we were talking about before, the ADA compliance. That's included in that one. That would be that. If we did not want the audio eye, that the annual cost would go down. So, as well as the initial cost. And I was doing a little research on the audio eye. It's an awesome system. I mean, it's awesome. But there are other ADA compliant checkers and tools that we could utilize if we don't want to do the audio eye. The standard basic tools that Civic Plus offers, um, minus the audio eye, are also included in the package. So we could also use those as well. Um, just so that if we don't want to, I mean, it's an additional $2,500.
I was just going to
Not
say that
not
for
a
the
small
public.
amount.
That's
Yeah. Um, so, and that would actually, if we did not go that way, that would actually bring it down to what to actually under, I believe, under what we budgeted for the website. Because
okay.
I believe we budgeted 6,000.
I think so.
Okay.
So
That would be great.
Right.
But what is what the other alternatives cost wise?
I don't think
Um,
we've even got that.
But I just wondered if you knew
yeah,
about.
Nick talk about it. Nick is the for the public and Quinn rather. Nick is the representative we dealt with Civic Plus. Um, with what Nick was saying during the presentation, it's basically once you have everything in your posts and whatnot, you can run a checker and it'll go through and make sure everything is compliant. Whereas the audio eye is actually ongoing, constant checking. So that if we were to add something and didn't check it before we posted it, audio eye would catch it. Um, however, it's an additional $2,500. So I mean, if we're aware of the steps and the items that we need to watch out for, I don't think it'd be problem with going with a basic, ADA checks.
And when does it actually go into effect that we have to be ADA compliant on this?
ADA compliant comes up in 2027.
Okay, so
I mean, for the public in Quinn, I know that's quite a ways away. However, I believe, and I believe I talked about this before, that it's better because we know it's coming. It's better to build it in now at in the start, so we have that built into the foundation, so that we can build up from there.
I agree
Otherwise, we'd have
because
to.
the other thing is that the information that we're providing is still going to be on the website. So people can go back and review and then maybe be wondering why we didn't include it,
Yeah.
when we had the chance. Yeah, I'm sorry, because when I had said I don't think we had that information, I thought you were talking about the other companies that we haven't heard from yet. So
Yeah, no, I just meant like the alternative to that.
audio, yeah.
Which there are big advantages to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there is.
if the ways
Alright.
Earlier.
Um, well, my question to the committee is if we want to continue looking, or if we want to go ahead and recommend this proposal to the commission.
I do think that we probably should have at least one more presentation just so we can have the comparison.
Mhm.
Um, Particularly for my sake because I'm not technologically oriented at all. And, I mean, I did feel that their presentation was very smooth and, gave a lot of information. And this may be the very best that we could have, but I don't know.
Right. Oh, I totally understand.
And you said the one company was it
Revised.
revised. Um,
I think
does
that's
this one know any of the municipalities that they have, or do they?
I know
we hear
they're
about them?
I know they're based out of Troy, so they are a Michigan-based company, whereas Civic Plus, I believe, is out of Kansas. Um, so, but like I said, I've tried twice, I believe, to get a hold of them. I have not received anything.
Well, I wonder. I'll go back through my emails
Okay.
and try and check, and I'll ask you if it's the same person because he was very good about getting back. So I'll just follow up and make sure that he knows that we're interested in a presentation or something.
What is,
Yeah.
so, um, I believe we would like, I guess I would make a motion to table the recommendation of the Civic Plus proposal until we get, at least one or two other proposals, so we can compare it.
Okay. Do you want that in the actual motion or are you making the
Yeah.
motion?
Yeah, I guess I'm making that motion.
Okay. I'll second it.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Item is tabled. All right. Now, we're gonna get to basically like we did last committee meeting. We're just going to have a discussion about the different social media platforms and the different types of posts that each offer. Um, I like I said before, I want this to be a somewhat informal conversation so that you know um, we can have a good conversation. Uh, I know Robert's Rules of Order doesn't exactly provide for that sometimes. So um, instead of suspending the rules, I think that we're okay to just go into it. Um, the first platform I'd like to talk about is Facebook. Now Facebook is what we are relying on currently. Um, it has a very large, um, it gets out to a lot of people. Uh, and it's one that I think that we definitely need to utilize going forward. Um, as I said before, it does offer scheduling to the posts so that just like the Civic Plus events and posts that we would put on the website, I'm sure there's other tools out there that we could do that with whatever website vendor that we go with. Um, so I don't want it to seem that I'm trying to push the Civic One or Plus. Um, I just know that with the presentation, I you both know what I'm talking about. Um, so Facebook is there's a lot of things that businesses and departments can utilize Facebook for. It offers Facebook Live video streaming service like YouTube does that we are using now. Um, Plus, it has the benefit of most people know how to use Facebook. It's not an upcoming technology, at all. So, um,
So, sorry to kind of go backwards a little bit, but if we have City Plus, do you remember, are these all integrated in a way that if we post to these here?
yes, they do have social media integrate. Yes, they can. If we post an event on the website through Civic Plus or any other website, it would, or at least Civic Plus. I don't know about anything else yet, but I do know that they have the ability to push to our different social media sites. So
It's
I know that's one big thing that Mary was not concerned about, but expressed a expressed an interest in not having to repost the same thing, just you know, 7 different things. Um, it makes it a little tedious. So for sure,
Well, and you want it to be accurate at
absolutely.
each one too.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about Facebook? I know Mary, you told me before you haven't really been on Facebook all that much.
I
Um,
have not,
okay.
but I'm willing to learn specifically for parks, just so we can get information out, and not have to rely on you to do it. So, uh, yeah, although you're awesome at doing it because you have a great way to present
Uh, Going for, I mean, a little bit later we'll talk. We have a item on the agenda, the content moderation policy, um, and I think that you'd be able to get into who can post what where. I think that's going to be a policy that we will need to address, and then of course recommend that to the full commission to get their. But it is something that we will have to talk about
it. Hmm.
for sure. So. I don't mind helping, and I I think everyone knows that I'm here to help as much as I can. Um, but there has to be a policy in place so that if Commissioner X comes in, 2 3 years from now, they don't think they have the ability and the right to just post whatever they want over all of our social media. I think so.
It seems like when I hate to keep referencing City Plus, but that's what we saw so far. I mean, I think they had that option for anything to get put in and then to
Yes.
someone's approval in order before it actually goes into It's us.
So they were willing to post to all these pages for you?
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
They could like sync it, kind of a thing.
But they would be the one posting. You wouldn't be creating them. Correct?
We would create the post and we can put it in there and then schedule when we want it to go out.
And not only would it post to the website, but that post would actually go out to our different social media sites as well.
And actually, with your experience, you might have better ideas as far as
Absolutely.
that option.
I mean, it's not that hard to connect Facebook and Instagram, and then Instagram and TikTok. It's fairly simple setting.
Okay.
And then once you post, then you'll automatically be posting to both.
Okay.
So I don't.
Well, that's good. 'Cause for those of us who don't,
Right.
it's kind of like, but that's all right.
All right.
So we are on all of these already?
Yes, I
Okay.
have put our accounts in the parentheses.
Yeah, I see that.
Um, the difference between YouTube and X, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook rather is I wasn't able to get the Explore HTP for Facebook and YouTube. So I would have liked to have the same throughout all, but sometimes you got to get what you can get. So
Well, and I think, especially for the Facebook, it's,
mhm.
self-explanatory. I think that's a good one as far as that.
All right, I guess we'll move down to number 2, YouTube. Now, YouTube is a video streaming service. Um, it's where we put all of our live stream for our meetings, but it can also be used to share videos that we take, as well as anything else video wise that we want to put out. Um, it's more of a long-term video. So, for example, once when we start talking about TikTok or Facebook Reels, for example, those are short videos, usually what 30 seconds, about 30 seconds. YouTube can go for hours, so it's a longer time limit on the videos. Um, so. So I would continue to use YouTube for our live streaming when we do meetings and possible when we do events. If you want to highlight an event we're doing, and we can stream that live as well. You could also not only with the camera that we have here, but you can also post to YouTube from phones. So if we're out and about and you want to go live, of course, with manager approval, we can do that. So,
So let me clarify though. So you're having an event and children are present and everything. How does that work as far as do we have to get parental permission to post children's pictures and things like that? I mean, I'm assuming that if they bring their children to the event, they would, but not necessarily to put it out for public consumption.
right. I know with the Holly Little League, when we do our registration, we have a built-in
Waiver,
release
kind of.
waiver. Um, I I know that on public land, you don't need permission to uh, to record for videos. However, I know where you're coming from, and I totally agree that we need to be mindful of, you know, parent, what parents' wishes regarding that. Um,
Well, it is
that's
good to know that like Little League has like a
yes,
waiver kind of portion.
yes.
So,
And any Facebook photo that Holly Little League is tagged in um, can be used for on our website, for example, and promotional things going forward. So
But is that addressed when the child parent signs the kid up?
yes,
So for our situation,
right. It's a little bit different.
Could be the same. I mean, you could post the event on Facebook or wherever and do a registration process and just collect information. Like, don't, it's a free event. Just have them, read. You may be photographed, you know, here, please sign, give us your information, contact information, and here's our event. And that way we're covered there, and we also know roughly how many people are planning to come here. And then we could have maybe a point person at entry. Okay.
Yeah, and if parents do come up and make it known that they have concerns, I'm sure there are. I know there are ways to doctor the videos to hide what we don't want seen. So, but I like Quinn's idea that during the registration process we can do that. So
So like any kind of sign up that we have, it's included right in there.
Yeah, that would be extensive. Like name, how many people are attending, and then a brief, you know, we may
Description.
post pictures of the event on our media platforms. By signing this, you agree.
This is where legal. This is where legal come in as well. And it's something that through. Even government civic plus it's covered. Sure, if you guys.
I'm sorry.
Possibly even on Civic Plus, it could be addressed, as far as the legalities.
Yeah,
because we
it can
have
be
through the-
definitely it can definitely be posted. And yeah, I agree that anything like that we want to run by legal first. Once we get a lawyer with the township
Okay.
or for the parks.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean I know that we can utilize the township's attorney. We also have the ability to use the um, staff from the MTA, the Michigan Township Association, or the Michigan Municipal League. They have lawyers on staff, but usually they answer general questions. They won't get specific. So
Ideas, and you.
yes, absolutely. I didn't even think of that. Thank you. All right. Number three, X, formerly known as Twitter. Um, to be honest, I usually don't use X all that much. It's just one that I've never really gotten into. I don't know if you utilize Twitter. No. Okay. From what I understand, Twitter is, or I'm sorry, X is a smaller amount of information that can be pushed out to, you know, everybody on X. I know there are limitations on how much information per post. Um, Videos and pictures are allowed on X. Um, they also have live videos on X. Um, do they have? I don't. Let me correct myself. I'm not. I was thinking about TikTok. Um, but I believe you can do a live space on X. I believe so. Um, but it's just another media platform that a lot of people utilize. And I know the question has arisen, um, why we need to, be on all sorts of media platforms when they all basically do the same thing. I just know that the parts, in my opinion, are underutilized. A lot of people don't know what we offer here. My wife had stated, she lived here in Holly for 15 years and never knew this was here. So, and I just find that if we go to where the people are, we can get our message out. Um, and then hopefully it'll spread and we'll get busier than Mary wants us to be. So That's my hope anyway.
You also get different generations and different. Um,
Just look at me.
Yes. We don't want to limit ourselves to um an older generation, especially when 18-year-olds and utilize TikTok more than Facebook. So we definitely can tailor our posts to fit those different, groups of people. So
Well, we might rely on somebody younger
yeah,
to actually put that out there.
absolutely. When I proposed this committee, I specifically said that we wanted um younger people to get involved and you know try to um I don't know make us more hip. I don't know if you know
Some
because
of
my
us, that might be a lost cause, but
what yeah. So okay, Instagram is picture oriented. Um it is owned by Meta, which also owns Facebook. So as Quinn was stating, Instagram and Facebook pretty much go hand in hand. Um so you know, like I said, Instagram is more of a picture-based social media platform. So uh, if someone came to the parks and took a picture that they want to share, that would be a good platform to use on. Um, so
well, actually, we have some great locations where people can take good pictures.
absolutely, and I think that we need to utilize those places. So,
Now, would this be strictly still pictures or videos or
as with X, Instagram, I don't usually utilize. So I would have to
you know?
turn to Quinn if you have any more information than that.
Instagram, I would say, is pretty much a combination between Facebook and TikTok. You can still have the videos, but it's not meant to be a long video like YouTube. So it's meant to be smaller. You can still add um, photos and things, but I mean, Facebook utilizes it too, but with Instagram, you can do hashtags, like hashtag pure Michigan, and then people that are, it's all algorithm based. So the people that are searching for Michigan things, our post might come up with that, come up to that because we're tagging pure Michigan or Holly, Michigan, or whatever it is that we're photographing or doing. That way, more people can get out there and find us.
Okay. We couldn't have hashtags and all really.
You can utilize them. I just know Instagram specifically is failing towards that. I mean, you can find things on Facebook and TikTok from a similar algorithm, like things that are hashtagged of things that you search for or things that you tend to look at more. It'll filter through, but Instagram is pretty much where that started. And then Facebook followed suit.
All right. Any other questions on Instagram?
Nope.
Okay. Now number 5, TikTok.
So
I,
this
I
is the one, right, that they're questioning.
TikTok has come under scrutiny as of late. Um, however, I think that it's going to stick around. I can't imagine it going away, especially because um, so many people, particularly of the younger generation, utilize TikTok for everything. As I know that's where a lot of people get their news from. They, yeah, and I think it would be a disservice to our public if we don't utilize TikTok. Um,
Who's gonna make the videos though?
that's the question. That's the question. And that's something that we need to talk about. Who is going to be in charge of producing the videos? Um,
Because TikTok is just videos.
yes.
There's no other way of posting necessarily. So Instagram, you can still have shorter videos, and then um, pictures, still pictures. But TikTok is purely videos. But then you can integrate TikTok videos into Instagram and Facebook. So
So by just videos, does it also allow you to, instead of just like scenic type photos, does it allow you to put like comments in there and things like that?
yep.
Okay,
Do you want to see a TikTok
sure.
video? Well, I personally don't have TikTok, but I can access the videos through Facebook and Instagram. So I'll try to find one that's. Have you seen one?
I have.
Have you seen one?
TikTok has live as well.
Yes.
Hmm. Sorry. I'm gonna update here.
Okay. We're still working on that as well. So when you say it has live, is that different than TikTok or is that just a portion of TikTok?
That means you can go live.
Oh, you mean at that time?
Yeah, you can stream live.
Stream
Yeah.
live.
I know a lot of debates happen on TikTok. Um, so people can join others, other videos and talk to each other and debate back and forth. So, not that that's what we would be using it for, but that's possible through TikTok.
So it's pretty much just showing video. Something. Uh, that one was for comical purposes, but
I will say that you can have a lot of fun on TikTok. Um, there's a lot of different ways to make video, fun, for lack of a better word. Um, I just need I just know that we need to find some way of creating those TikTok videos. If we're going to go utilize TikTok. Um, because like I said, if we don't create content and put it out there, no one's going to subscribe to our social media channel, and we'll be missing out on getting the word that we want to get out there. So
And that's the other thing is that like you were saying, you want to be able to do it on a regular basis so that it stays fresh
right.
and that type of thing. The other thing I am concerned about is so if people were to put out like a TikTok thing involving our park, do we have any say in how that, so because they're not necessarily posting it to our site,
Right.
they're putting it out there. I mean, we don't have any control of that,
I
right?
don't believe so.
Okay.
I would say that's only good things though. Because if we post it on our platform and two people share it to all of their friends and all of the people that they're following, the, essentially the two people that saw our video without us doing anything has now been seen by 500 people.
My understanding is somebody makes the video, it still goes for approval before it gets posted.
Right.
Yes, I believe so.
So is that, if it's our video, we would approve it. Even if it's someone else, it isn't gonna just go from someone else posting to live. It would have to get approved by
Oh,
someone.
okay.
Is that right?
I don't think so because other than uh Facebook, we have our own Facebook page, okay, and people can post to that page, and we would have to approve before that would actually show up on our page. Okay, now TikTok's a little different. TikTok is um they wouldn't be posting to our page per se. They would be using a hashtag, like Quinn was saying. That would, if people were searching out Holly Township parks, that would come up because hashtag, but we wouldn't have the approval option like we do on the other sites, like Facebook, Instagram, or I don't even know if Instagram. Can you post on another person's Instagram? Or is it just
It depends.
okay?
There's a
Okay.
setting
Okay.
allow or allow.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, that is true. You can't really control what people post or what hashtags. So if we create a hashtag and say Holly Township Parks, people are disc golfing and they're like, we're having so much fun, Holly Township Parks. And then that's going to add to the stuff that we come up with algorithm. Um, but that could also go a negative way. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why someone should be on top of how we're being tagged. That way, if they do tag us, we'll probably get notified, and then we can, like it or comment on it. Like, great, we're glad that you had a great time, or, maybe it was a negative experience, and we're like, sorry that this happened. What can we do to help? You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be, I think that's the worst thing that could possibly happen is for someone to post a negative story and we ignore it. And it goes, to two, three, four people, and it goes from there. And it's harder to walk back. So,
Well, like Quinn said, hopefully we'll just keep moving forward in a positive way, and people will see the better parts of it.
Seen negative comments before, and whoever it is comes back and, like you said, Gwen, like, how can we help, or how can we fix that, or something, and it actually ends up being us, because they were trying to resolve, it's like the problem, the issue was being unheard. So it's really good. In some ways, that can just provide transparency, like we always are striving for, but resolution.
Mhm.
It's too big.
Absolutely.
That sounds good.
Is there anything else anyone wants to say about the different streaming platforms? Did I miss one? I don't know. No?
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't know. We could always call Joe. Joe might have an idea.
Here we go.
All right. Going to new business item C, the discussion of the HTP content moderation policy. Now, this is where it's going to get a little tricky, and I do believe that we do need this to be viewed by legal. Um, First Amendment's very important, and I don't want to be in I don't want to be in a position to censor census. That's not where we are. Um, However, we do need to be mindful about what we allow people to see that's on our social media sites, because it'd be a bad thing if something is posted and we do nothing about it, and it gives people the wrong impression of how we want ourselves to be seen. Um, so as Commissioner Earl was saying, with the Civic Plus idea, that whatever we want to post has to be approved by someone. And I think it would be the manager. The manager could give, an assistant or whatnot, um, the ability to approve the post as well. But there has to be a process for post approval. Um, Facebook allows that. I'm pretty sure most of the social media platforms allow that. Um, TikTok, I believe, is a little bit different. I know, I think, yeah, X you can approve as well. Um, but there has to be a policy of what posts we comment on, because the public can say something bad, and we need the procedure in place that if we have to remove that comment for a certain reason, there's a policy that we can follow that would be transparent, but there's a reason why we deleted that comment. I know on social media, the Supreme Court has ruled that it's all free speech, and we can't censor what the public puts on our social media sites. However, there are exceptions to that rule, and especially if we have a policy in place that specifies what we will not allow and what we will allow. Hate
For,
speech, for example. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, for other people to post.
Yes.
I don't know if we can come up with that, like as a committee. I mean, I agree that there should be a process of us posting out
Mhm.
or like how to get approved, but we can't control whatever.
No. What? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. If someone posts on our page and we have to respond to that, how we respond to that post should be set in a policy that if it was hateful, there's a way that we can. I don't see. I don't know if
To get
this
somebody else involved,
right.
just the person seeing the notification on.
Right. That's why I said we need to bring legal in, because it's a gray area. Um, I know that I don't think any of us want to, be taking down posts that we don't like. That's a bad precedent. Um, but I do believe that there needs to be a policy in place that specifies what we allow to be posted on our social media sites. Um, so
And
I'm sorry.
is that kind of what you're looking at in like number 5, like commenting guidelines?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the parks comment.
Yes. Yes. Uh, this is just a rough draft. I came up with this back in May, um, and nothing has gone forward since then. But I just wanted to bring it up just so that we possibly would have a starting. Um, so,
I guess the other thing is I would like, as we go forward with this, to have the option of contacting other people, like the commissioners
Mhm.
or something, just for second, sounding board
Oh yeah.
kind of a thing,
Mhm.
so that I'm not the only one who's sitting here going, "Yep, oh no,
Oh,
I'll see that.
oh yeah.
Makes sense. That would be a pretty.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's easy to say yes to positive things. It's more difficult to make that decision if it's not. So,
Would you say just in a formal way, discussing it with Commissioner, or would you, like, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that actually should be a decision by the commission, right? I mean, how the commission would like to handle it. For that.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
yeah, I think so too. I just didn't know when you said reaching out to the commissioners. I didn't know if you meant like in an informal way, just
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's in the policy, that depending on what the process is, if it's something minor, that, I would feel comfortable just calling somebody, whoever the designated person is, and just saying, okay, this happened. What would you think? But if it was something more major, then that might require contacting the full commission and say this happened and what would you want the response to be from the parks?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
And like I said, this is just a rough draft.
Sure.
The full commission would need to approve it. Um, and I because with I know with media inquiries, the chairperson of the commission would be the one talking to the media.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that would go along with what we're talking about here. If there's any question, I think Commissioner DeSessa would be the one to go to. But like I said, we would need to go in front of the commission and get this
Mhm.
approved. Sure. So
But still, if we motion to get it removed, it still doesn't mean that it's all going to get removed because it still has to go through the platform's
Right.
process of, is this really necessary?
yeah,
I feel like that might need to be mentioned in that bullet point.
that's a great that's a great point. Um, if if someone posts something to our Facebook page, for example, and it violates our policy, we can go because it's our page. We can remove that post from our page.
I don't necessarily think that it's necessary for the parks to allow that,
Okay.
and just to have it be in the like the hashtag form if they want to tag us that way. That way people can find our page, but it doesn't necessarily allow them to post to our page, but you can still comment on our content.
Okay. I see where you're going. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. What, um, are you understanding what we're talking
Yeah.
about? So that if we turn off the ability for others to post directly to our Facebook page, but we don't, they're allowed to, they would be able to comment on our post, but not directly post right to our page,
is that one through which
Facebook.
They can still tag us.
Yes.
Like if I saw a post the other day, not too long ago, a month or so ago, about someone was disappointed at Mill Pond got drained. The back also got drained. So they were disappointed that it happened, and they tagged Holly Township Parks in it. So people can still do that, and then we'll get notified that someone tagged us in a post. We can view it, but that's not necessarily posting to our page. That's completely different. So they can still have their freedom of
Right.
posting to a page that's not ours about us, but just not allowing them to do it on ours.
And we would get notified of that so we can respond if need be.
Well, I guess that's a question too, since you've been doing Facebook.
Mhm.
How many posts has the public made? Or are they making comments, or is there?
We do get public comments on our posts. I mean the majority of which have been positive. There have been some questions and um following my draft policy, when I have a question I always reach out to you to see how you want to respond. Um but majority of it's been positive.
Good.
So
That's what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a lot of people were pleased with the PFAS posts that we have done, the 8-part PFAS educational post. So that was a big plus.
Good.
Yeah. Like I said, I just included this policy just for you to take home to read and see what, if there's any comments or revisions that need to be made before we bring it to the full commission. Because I know Commissioner DeSessa, Chairperson DeSessa, um, was wanting to do policies. And this was one of them that I forwarded to her. So that this is one of the things that we need to um, definitely uh, lock down. So
Well, and I agree. And I think the fact that we're already on social media, the sooner we get a policy established would probably be better. Um, but this will have to go back to the full board or commission before it's approved anyway. So that might be what, October,
yeah,
possibly.
possible. Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure how the other ones, if we get those, but I think they were saying 8 weeks, 8 to 12
To actually
from
create
beginning
it.
to end.
Oh, for Civic Plus for the website?
So maybe it's something we would get.
Right.
The other thing is that we'd have to refer to our notes as far as the Civic Plus, what that deadline is.
Just gonna say, I think it's the end of September.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might be an issue because we might have to do a special meeting if it comes to that.
Yeah, because I believe Nick was saying that there's a 50% discount, and then next month it'll go to a 25% discount. So on the initial first year costs.
Yeah, it seemed worth it for
I
sure.
know that they quoted without the discount, first year cost was 96.23, and they dropped it to 71.23 with a discount. Um, actually, I do believe remember him saying that the audio eye was the discounted amount. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
25.
it looks like what it is.
Yeah, that might be an issue. No, at our next commission meeting, which is the
This next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Mhm.
I'll definitely bring that up and see. Hopefully, we get a response from Revise regarding their proposal, and we can go forward on that. But
There's another issue that may need to be part of a special meeting as well. So I think it would probably be worth it to do that in early October. Well, actually before then, if we have to do it by the end of September, if we're able to get the revised or another
yeah,
editor.
yeah.
But wouldn't we also need a new quote from somebody else?
That's what we're talking about.
Or something? The end of it? Is that possible?
We're not sure, but at least a presentation so that we would have something to compare to would be a good idea. But I mean, I do think that the three of us, when we watched the presentation, were very impressed with it, and the fact that Commissioner Earl has had personal use of that same program through another community was a positive thing. So, yeah. But, just for due diligence and all that, it's good to do that comparison if needed.
I'll try again. I'll send emails out and we can try to get some follow-up conversation for Revise, hopefully. So, all right. Any other questions on the moderation policy draft?
No, but I did not realize we did not have this on here.
No, this is a draft, the request for proposal for website creation. I wasn't quite sure why Commissioner DeSessa emailed this to us because I thought this was what we were doing. Um, I
I think she just went ahead and put it together, and that and a legal one as well,
okay,
which will be forthcoming.
okay.
So are we doing a completely separate RFP then? So
Well,
she's wanting to do like an entirely separate one without using Civic.
that's my understanding of this document.
I think also it was just looking at the various aspects of it,
Okay.
and like she went through and found all these different bullet points and things like that as to what would be included.
Had she already gone from Civic Plus to this?
No, I don't think so. I think that well, as far as I know, she didn't. I think it was just looking at other communities, ROP kind of things, and
Yeah, good reference.
Yes, absolutely. Uh, so,
And if she decides to do those, then we'll at least have Civic Plus.
absolutely. Yeah.
We'll just
well, I don't. Yeah, it'll be something we'll have to discuss. Yeah, I think
Alright.
like the expectations. So
That's all I have. Does anyone else have any comments they want to make before we move forward?
I appreciate Quinn coming
Absolutely,
for being part of it.
absolutely. And I put this request out again to the public. Any other members of the public who want to get involved, you're more than welcome. We'll be posting our agenda on Facebook, and of course, the live meetings will be streamed. Um, so, was there a item that you wanted to mention regarding the tub grinder?
Yes, thank you. Just for the public's sake, we want to let them know that the Village of Holly did contract with Bedrock to bring in a large tub grinder, which is going to start grinding all of the woody debris and logs and brush that has been stored on site at the Sorensen Park. And the tub grinder will be brought in on this coming Monday. And we will close the park to the public for the duration that they are here, just for the sake of safety and protection, because that tub grinder has a possibility of throwing logs and everything else for a long distance, and we don't want to take a chance of anybody having any accidents. And for the sake of the Bedrock people themselves, that they don't have to be constantly watching for people walking up on it. So we will be closing the park for the duration. They're going to start on Monday. It is a very huge pile, and we do not know how long it's going to take them to take that pile all the way down. Once that pile is um, completed, Joe Hutchins, our commissioner, has offered to load wood chips and even prior mulch um, for the public. And so, if you are interested in fresh wood chips, older wood chips, or the mulch, you can certainly call the township parks. Our number is 248 534 0366. I will also give you my cell phone number because we have had a couple instances where the call does not seem to be going through. So my number is 248 238 9732, and I'm manager Mary Blanchard for the parks. And we would certainly be happy to schedule and put you on a list for when we do the distribution for the wood chips and the mulch. So thank you very much for tuning in.
All right. Commissioner Earl, you have anything? No? Okay. Quinn, would you like to say? Oh, okay. That brings us to our second public comment. Members of the public can address the committee once recognized by the chairperson. For any item, comments are limited to 4 minutes. The committee may extend this time for up to an additional 4 minutes by majority vote. Prior to addressing the committee, members of the public are asked to state their name for the record. Are there any public comments? Hearing none, seeing none, I will move to adjourn this committee meeting. The current time is 7:44 p.m. And I thank you all for tuning in.